Hello everyone. I just wanted to make a quick video. I know I've been scouring YouTube trying to find videos that pretty much gave a good description of adults having a tonsillectomy. I had one 7 days ago, so this is day 7. And I just wanted to give you guys an update on what that's like as a 35-plus-year-old person. A lot of people on YouTube are making videos that are 18, 20, in their early 20s, but I just want to give you guys like a realistic how it feels to be an older adult. The first day that I woke up from surgery was awful. I'm not even going to candy coat it. It was the worst pain I've ever experienced, and it was definitely by far the worst surgery I've ever had. Waking up from it, the pain was just excruciating. And of course, they try at the hospital to get you comfortable, but it honestly, like, there's only so much that they can do for you. So as soon as I got home, I took some pain medication. I had tablets, and so what I ended up having to do is taking the tablets and crushing them up and putting them in like a yogurt or applesauce. And I had someone take care of me. He was there every 6 hours, crushing up the pill, and bringing me applesauce or yogurt, putting it in there, and then very slowly, like, eating, that and getting it down. I couldn't go more than 6 hours. I was getting up on the hour in the middle of the night, needing medication. It was awful. You're definitely going to need somebody to take care of you. You cannot do this alone. It's, and liquid medication if you can get it, because it's, taking pills is impossible. Well, it was for me. So I had to crush them up. So the first 3 days that you're going to have this surgery is going to be the worst. It's going to hurt constantly. It's going to hurt. It's going to be mind-blowing. And it affects everything, because the food that you can eat has to be bland, has to be on the cold side, or for me it had to be. Anything that was like even just remotely warm, it was hard to get down. It burned the back of my throat. Anything that was not like a applesauce or yogurt texture, it was almost impossible to swallow. Water hurt. Drinking water was hard, but that's something that you absolutely have to do. You have to constantly sit there and sip on water, even if it hurts. You have to, because what's going to happen is it's going to cause bleeding. It's going to cause you way more complications, more mucus buildup. Another thing, stay away from dairy, because dairy causes mucus. Your body starts producing way more mucus with dairy. Try to be as vegan as possible. I went and bought like vegan ice cream, vegan popsicles, vegan, just anything vegan I can. The popsicles, I ate a lot of those. I'm still eating them. The ice cream, all that stuff is really good for your throat. Even after probably like 5 days, like I'm still in a lot of pain, and I'm still very limited to what I can do. And so, but I am down to taking medication 3 times a day instead of 4. So that's good. And I now have liquid, because the pill crushing was just too much. And plus it still burned, if you got the powder on your, where they took out your tonsils, it still hurts. But make sure you're getting plenty of rest. That first day, you're basically going to be passing out from the pain every 2 hours. Like, it's unbelievable. I thought I can go back to work. I tried to go back to work on day 5, and I made it 2 hours and left. And so, thankfully, my job has been very understanding, and they're, going to let me, work from home. But it's just unbelievably rough, you guys. If you're an adult, you got to, number one, make sure that you have plenty of food on hand that you can eat. It can't have any salt, can't have any pepper, can't have, too much spices. It can't have, it can't, for the first several days, it has to be chilled, or, like right now, like I just got through eating something that wasn't chilled. It was room temperature, and this is the first time I've been able to eat something like that since I've had the surgery. Another thing you'll experience is, probably after like the second or third day, you'll start to get really bad breath. And when the scabs start forming, it's no joke. It's really no joke. It smells horrible. There's really not a whole lot you can do for that. I've seen some people where they basically got gum, but I mean, it's dead skin in the back of your throat. I mean, that it's going to make your breath just really bad. So just be prepared for that. Talking too much is going to hurt. I will make an update video on the next 7 days whenever that's done. Usually a lot of people say that usually by the 10th, 11th, 12th day they're, starting to be able to eat, more normal. They're not on the pain medication anymore. So I will definitely make a video on that. But just, just know, if you're an adult, it's going to affect us differently than it does teenagers and 20-year-olds. And so my daughter was 7 when she had it done, and I remember what she had to go through, but she tells me she doesn't remember. So if someone's having problems with their tonsils and your kids, just get it out when they're really young, because this is really hard on. The older you get, the harder it gets on you. The doctors all told me that it's definitely one of the surgeries that hits the highest on the pain scale. Like it's, I see a lot of comments on YouTube saying, oh, it wasn't that bad, don't scare people. I'm not even going to candy coat it. It's been pretty rough. And so luckily I've been really sticking to like cold drinks constantly all the time, and staying hydrated. Using a humidifier in your room really helps. I haven't had any bleeding issues so far, knock on wood. And so that's like the biggest concern after you have the surgery is the fact that you can bleed out. So you definitely want to make sure that you're staying on top of that if you don't want to go back to the hospital. I got stitches. I didn't get the cauterizing, so maybe that has something to do with the fact that I haven't bled. My doctor swears by it. He says that he doesn't have as many issues. That may be something you want to talk to your doctor about, to see if they'll do stitches instead of cauterizing. But, and you just have to get a lot of rest. Don't push it with food. You have to really be on I don't want to say liquid diet, but it really has to be like a cold, and just even you're going to lose weight. I've lost 12 pounds already, and probably 12 pounds I didn't have to lose to begin with. But you're going to lose weight. I mean, that's just inevitable. Everybody loses weight because you can't eat a whole lot the first couple of days. I got those Ensure light drinks that has a good bit of calories and fat in it, so that's something to consider also to have on hand. Just try to get liquid medication if you can, and definitely stay on top of it. Don't let it go past mine said every 6 hours to take it, so I took it every 6 hours, but I think for some people they do every 4 to 6. So just take the medication as directed. Get plenty of rest. Don't push it. Every day you'll feel more energetic, but when you do start to feel tired, you need to lay down. Don't think you're going back to work after a few days. It's not going to happen. If you have children, mine are teenagers, but I still went ahead and, sent them to my mom's house for a few days so that they could get properly taken care of. They're both in activities, so someone had to drop them off and take them to their you know, events and whatever else. So you really need to just make sure that somebody is going to be able to take care of the stuff for you. You don't go into this thinking you'll be okay, because you're not. And especially if it's in the winter time. So just really take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Biggest thing you can do. It'll hurt more if your throat dries out and you start bleeding. Just keep that in mind. Yes, it hurts to drink. It's going to hurt even worse to have to go back to the hospital and get stitches or cauterization again. You want to avoid that at all costs. You don't want to have to keep going through this, and you definitely don't want to prolong your recovery. It's really bad. So just, I will come back with another update in 7 days. I'm hoping that I will feel better, sound better, will be able to eat better. My goal is to try to put on at least 5 pounds, and hopefully going back to work on Monday. Definitely not a good thing to be off around the holidays, but what can you do? So, that's the tips that I have, and just know that it's going to hurt. It's going to be very painful. It's going to probably be the worst thing you've ever experienced. And, I've also seen people talk about taking Advil. It may help with the pain. It does cause your blood to be thin. Do not take Advil. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do not take it. The doctors, they all went to medical school. The nurses all went to medical school. Every one of these medical professionals know exactly what they're talking about when they tell you do not take Advil. It's truly the dumbest thing you can do after any surgery. If you get cut open, you don't take Advil. That's just it. You just don't. Something that I've been doing leading up to the surgery, and then I didn't take any of this the first 3 days, but when I started moving around more, I started taking it every other day, is vitamin K. That will help your blood clot. That will help you not have any, bleeding. And so far, the doctor told me during surgery that he was very surprised that he didn't see any bleeding. He usually sees bleeding, that he has to stop bleeding. He didn't have to do that with me. I took vitamin K leading up to surgery, and I took vitamin K. I stopped for a couple of days because I was only laying down. So when you're just laying around doing nothing, you can't take vitamin K, because obviously you'll run a risk of getting blood clots in your legs. But once you start moving around more, go ahead and start taking it again. And in that way, it'll help you with your bleeding. I believe that's why I haven't had any bleeding issues up until this point, even during surgery, which is pretty incredible. So I hope this helped any of you 30 plus year olds that are getting this done. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. If you have any other tips you'd like to share for other people, please, by all means, we're all in this together. Thank you.